waited a little bit longer for SC2. They're like, listen, I got to tell you, build it up and stuff like that. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, okay. So now, and I know it's not like me selling them. I'm just opening their mind for the call. It's kind of like setting the demo. And so on that call, I'll do the work. Because I realize it's just kind of a cop-out for a no-sell. So it's just like I end up saying these things. I don't sell. Now I have the opportunity to make a call and just get that one more order. And it'll only take me 10 or 15 minutes, and I'll do so many of them at the end of the push. It'll be $3,000 to $5,000 and beyond dollars. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's now just another avenue for how I'm going to treat that customer and categorize them instead of being a no-sell.
Yeah, so you're let me acknowledge and recreate what you're doing here. So do you get that you're applying positive meaning? See, we make things mean something. So like the no sale is the event. You're now saying you're getting the idea. Wow, I have influence over what I make that mean. So it's like no sale equals fill in the blank, and you're making it mean no sale equals everything you just said. You know what I mean? Like you get the idea. So, but whereas in the past, you often we would make it mean negative, which doesn't bode well, doesn't add any value or anything like that. So you're getting it. You're understanding that you have influence over what you make things mean, and you're really getting the idea that in the past when you made something mean something, it wasn't real, it was an opinion. So you're getting that you can shift it. See, all this technology or these concepts, they only work if you know that what's the difference between opinion and fact, right? So, because if you think it's fact, then you won't be able to change it. But you're really getting it. It's like, wow. And you had an aha moment about 12 minutes ago, whatever. We introduced the you're like, wow, this really, I could see this impacting everybody's life. It's like, holy crap. And it almost gives you this fun sense of, wow, anything's possible because I can totally see the world differently now. Yeah.
I'm glad I told you that story because you're right. I'm just applying positive meaning. Yes.
Cool. Now, you still want to be intentional each time. Obviously, my intent is to create a sale. We know that. By the way, as a side note, something that just popped up there, it sounds like you keep saying, well, I'm not trying to sell them. You almost have let's not cover it on this call, but it sounds like you may want to take a look at the meaning you've applied to what you're describing as, well, I don't want to sell them. Whatever that means in that statement, the sell them, you have some sort of negative connotation to it versus just having it be an act or being neutral about it. And it sometimes becomes, again, it's an avoiding a negative thing versus creating a positive.
Okay. Can you expand on that one?
Yeah. Let's just do this briefly. Normally, I would take better notes. I write down exactly what you said to me because I'll say back the words to you that you had said to me because a lot of times we just speak and speak and speak. We're not even aware of what we're saying. And one of the best ways to really get in touch with your thoughts and your opinions, Ryland, is just to pay attention to the words that are coming out of your mouth. And so you said something like, as you were going through that whole story of what would happen if you get a no sale, and this could lead to this and this, but you were like, I'm just going to plant seeds, or that wasn't the words you used, but you said, I'm not going to sell them. Do you remember saying that? Like you said that at least twice.
Right.
So meaning you have an opinion about that, whatever that action is, like that's negative, or I'm not going to be sleazy, or I don't know, whatever. But at the end of the day, what's wrong? I mean, you are a salesman. That's what we do. And why would we hide that? You have every intention of having somebody order Cutco again. You can be very upfront about that. See, if you're trying to avoid them reacting, if we avoid somebody reacting, we usually cause them to react. Because again, we get what we will get what we're avoiding. We usually create what we avoid. Could be a quote you write down. I'll write it myself. Because if we're avoiding it, again, you expect it. And we're likely to make our expectations come true. So, that goes back to let's never avoid the negative. You have positive intentions. These are good people. You're a good person. And so you should never even be fearing that people are going to take things the wrong way. Because then you're going to be holding back. And it will prevent you from really being fully self-expressed and powerful and being able to be intentional, create the positive, all of the above there. So just pay attention to like the things that you have. Anytime we fear a reaction, it's like I used to go into conversations with my sister, fearing that she'd like get angry and like I almost be walking on eggshells around her. And because I went into that conversation that way, it means I expected her. I was more likely than not to actually trigger her, Rylan, and be like, see, I knew it. I knew she'd get pissed. And I'm like, wow, it was a good breakthrough in my relationship with her. So I'm like, wow, let me not avoid her getting pissed. Instead, let me create a cool conversation between me and my sister. And it was amazing. I stopped avoiding, and the relationship transformed, and I have a much better relationship with my sister. I go into the conversations much more relaxed. I'm not on eggshells anymore. And I don't blame her for it anymore. Side note, whatever. So, all right, we got to put closure. Well, we don't got to, but I want to move on to, I have a list of tasks that I've committed to doing. So I could be consistent. So,
you know what? I see what you touched on there is a very big thing for me for my shoppings, because the way I've ordered my approach, you're right. I had so many. I've only just learned sharpening. I've done 30,000 in sharpenings or something like that, and it's like, you're right. It's like, how do I match that cool, calm flow with that just utter confidence that it's not like, oops, here's cut code, and it's really just a sale at the end, but it's like, it's okay for them to feel that the whole way through, because I don't. You know, I don't know if that took a little more time. Basically, I can tell you in a couple of points, right? It's like, I've written this out before, but basically, you know, sharpening, I go in there, service, next I go into transitions to open up the book, guarantee, go through some names and uses, and this is how it runs. I go to and start using names and uses to show the homemaker, then show the sig, ultimate, pick up, I'm almost going to close on it, and you just go through the rest of the pieces, go backwards and build a like list. From there, I like, oh, by the way, and I then go into my goals, I share that, and I got all these things people assign. And then from there, it's like, hey, you can be on my team inside my sheet. And that's actually started doing, you know what? That how that approach is such a just, it's like, I'd rather just have when I work for them selling to people, I feel like I have this create kind of connection at the end. You know, we kind of have an agreement, and that's the sign on paper. But the way that approach is set up, it's different. Because whenever Danny talks to me about his approach, he's just open throughout the whole deal. He's like, hey, you know, he's no fear, no holdback. It's like, hey, this is it. This is what I'm doing. You'll build me goals at the beginning, and he just, and he, you know, and he hadn't done demos in 2 years, and then he did like $15,000 push at the end of last year.
That's awesome. So he's creating the positive. You're getting the idea. He's not avoiding a negative. He's not being like, you know, strategic or whatever. I mean, there's still some strategy to it, but he's just creating the positive. He's being upfront about it. And even if you don't change your actions, just changing what you expect to occur, like if you're fearing of something, if you're fearing a reaction, just going into it not expecting that or expecting a positive, even if you did the same action, you'll find the results change. Like I didn't probably change the way I talked to my sister. Although, at the end of the day, yeah, there probably was some unconscious things or my body language or whatever. Or, yeah, there probably was word choice that I shifted. But I just stopped expecting the negative, and that alone made a difference. And instead, I went in totally focused on creating the positive. You think of managerial success. That's why Drew Frank and people like that are so successful. And Mike Muriel, because he doesn't worry about reps quitting. He doesn't worry about dropout. He doesn't worry about, you know, offending a rep or anything. Or he doesn't worry about over-challenging. And so he just creates positive. And that's all, and then that's what he gets, and that's why Muriel now he's a region manager, but he's, you know, obviously probably the best or one of the best field managers we ever had, you know. So you can learn a lot from that, obviously. So anyway, take a look at that. All right, so let's wrap this up. Any last thing you need to say to get complete here?
No, it helped me really kind of see things that are missing in class, a lot of things.
Yeah.
Creating the positive versus fearing your gut reaction. I love that.
Yeah.
It's going to help me a lot.
Okay, great.